We are on the Real Programming channel. It is about HTML and CSS. My name is Andrei. This is our 34th lesson. I greet you. We will talk about the new and improved HTML5 doctype. Let's go. Okay, get ready for it. Here's HTML5 doctype. And it's really simple. It's just one line, don't miss it. How close was your answer in the Sharpen Your Pencil? This is much simpler, wouldn't you say? And whoa, you might even be able to remember it without having to look it up every time you need a doctype. Our sympathies to those who had the old doctype tattooed on their palms to remember it. Wait, isn't this supposed to tell the browser the version? Where is the version number? Is that a typo? Good point. No, it's not a typo. And let's step through by. You know that doctype used to be a complicated mess full of version numbers and ugly syntax. But with the real of HTML5, the doctype was simplified so that now all we have to do is tell the browser we are using HTML. No more worrying about specific version numbers of languages or pointing to a standard. How can that be? Now can we just specify HTML without the rest? Doesn't the browser need that other information? Well, as it turns out, when the browser sees doctype HTML, it assumes you're using standard HTML, no more getting all hung up on version numbers or where the standard is located. In fact, it will contain it to grow and morph is needed, but without fixed version number. Now you're probably thinking, what exactly does this legal standard mean? How is that going to work? You'll see on the next minute of this video. HTML, the new living standard. You had us right, rather than continue to crank out version 6, 7, 8 of HTML. The standards guys and goals have turned the specification into a living standard that will document the technology as it evolves. So, no more version numbers, and you can stop calling it HTML5 because it's just HTML from here on out. Now you're probably wondering how this is going to work in practice. After all, if the spec is continually changing, what does it mean for the poor browsers? Not to mention, for you, the web developer, one key to this working is backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility means that we can keep adding new stuff to HTML, and the browsers will eventually support this new stuff, but they also keep supporting the old stuff to the HTML pages you're writing today will keep working, even after new features have been added later. Works on Internet Explorer 9, Chrome 17, Firefox 10, Safari 5, Opera 11, HTML 2012. Next, work on all those plus new version of each. Next, HTML version works on those plus new version of each. And last version works on all those plus fancy new browsers we haven't even thought of yet. Notice each new version getting a little bigger because new stuff is being added, but the old stuff still works. Your HTML from today still works because the old stuff is still supported. There are no dumb questions. So what happens if the spec changes tomorrow? What do I do? If you write in solid HTML today and the spec changes tomorrow to incorporate a new element, then you can just keep on doing what you're doing. It's up to you whether you want to use that new element or not. If the spec changes something you're already doing, like the way an element or attribute works, then browsers are supposed to continue to support the old way you're using it as well as the new way. That's what backwards compatibility means. Now, it is obviously a good thing if existing features are changed as little as possible. And if you as a web developer keep up to date on the spec and change fewer pages as the spec changes, but the idea is that your HTML will continue to work as the spec changes. What exactly is a spec anyway? The specification is a document that specifies what the HTML standard is. That is, what elements and attributes are in HTML and more. This document is maintained by the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C for short. By anyone can attribute to it and have a say is how the standard is developed. Okay, I think we got it now. Let's get the doctype in the long files and update these pages to HTML5. Adding the document type definition. Enough talk, let's get the doctype in the HTML. This is code. Here is the doctype line. And just add it is the very first thing in the long HTML file. You can write doctype or doctype small, both work. The doctype test drive. Make the changes to your long HTML file in the chapter 6 long folder and then load the page in your browser. Whoa, no different. Well, we didn't really expect any because all the doctype does it let is the browser know for sure you're using HTML5. Add a doctype. Exercise. To the file directions HTML and HTML file as well. Go ahead and give them a good test. Just like long HTML, you won't see any fireworks, but you might sleep a bit better tonight. Meet the W3C validator. Let's check out the W3C validator and have it validate our long files. To follow along, just point to browser http validator.w3.org. And there are 3 ways you can check your HTML. First, if your page is on the web, then you can type in the URL here and click the check button. And the service will retrieve your HTML and check it. Second, you can choose the second tab and upload the file from your computer. When you select the file, click check and the browser will upload the page for the service to check. 3. Or choose the third tab and copy and paste your HTML into the form on the tab. Then click check and the service will check your HTML. Validating the head first long. We are going to use the third tab, validate by direct input. To validate the long HTML file, that means we need to copy and paste the HTML from long HTML into the form on the tab. Keep following along and give it a try. Feel free to use method 1 or 2 if it's more convenient. We are using method 3 here. We clicked on the validate by direct input tab and pasted the code for long HTML, which now has the doctype for HTML5 at the top into the form. We are ready for the big moment. Will the web page validate? That's anyone. Click check and turn the page to find out. Houston, we have a problem. The thread on the page can't be good. It doesn't look like the page validate. We'd better take a look. We failed the validation. It looks like there is one error. This must be the error. The W3C is constantly revising the validator. Watch it. Because the W3C frequently revises the validator, you might not see exactly the same error messages. No worries, just keep following along because all the stuff in the next few pages is important. Even if you don't see the error above. This doesn't look bad. It looks like we have to use the alt attribute in the image element. Fixing the error in HTML We'll talk about this in the next lesson. And this concludes our lesson 34. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, please. Put likes, share with friends, comment, eat bananas, chocolate and nuts, drink more water for the effective work of our brains. Bye.